welcome to the Bengaluru Cluster Final of the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. The cycle brand takes great pride in India's heritage and culture and has centered the company's mission and vision around the same. Hence, the cycle brand has conceptualized the Cycle Heritage Quiz with a view to enlighten young minds on the 5,000-year-old heritage of our nation. The Cycle Heritage Quiz is an all-India level quiz competition that celebrates India's rich culture and heritage, with participants spanning the length and breadth of the nation. We have had almost 30,000 registrations for this quiz, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. Through this quiz, participants get a chance to showcase their knowledge and passion for India's heritage. As we know, we are still dealing with the effects of the global pandemic. Hence, the Cycle Heritage Quiz is being held in a special online format. In this quiz, we have divided India into 18 different clusters. After a grueling preliminary stage, the participants took part in 4 rounds with questions on the heritage of our nation, along with special focus rounds on the heritage of their region. We have our 6 finalists from each cluster. Now we have the finals for the Bengaluru cluster, where we have students from various schools in Bengaluru. So without further ado, let's meet our 6 finalists for today. So first we have Kushagra Agarwal from Presidency School, Nandini Layout. Hi Kushagra.
Hello.
So Kushagra, how did you find the preliminary rounds of the cycle?
So they were very exciting, and I learned a lot from a lot of the questions, and they really showed me how much I know about the place I live in, that is Bangalore, and how much I know about my country.
Okay, fantastic. And next we move to Tanushri from Presidency School, Bangalore South. Tanushri, you are probably our youngest participant today, so confident of doing well?
I'm doing well, sir.
Okay, and confident of your chances?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, great. That's the spirit. And next we have Vedant Shinde from Presidency School, RT Nagar. So Vedant, my question to you is, which is your favorite heritage location in India?
So there are a lot of places actually in India, and it is always difficult to choose ones which are great or which are very well designed. But according to me, I think Red Fort is one of my favorite locations because I think I saw a variety of architecture, and truly the building itself resonates with the rich history it has witnessed, from the original construction back in the Mughal era to the first speech by Jawaharlal Nehru, the Flight to Destiny. So I think it has truly witnessed a major or a very important part of Indian history.
Okay, fantastic. And best of luck, Vedant, for the cluster final. Next, we have Avinash Ashok from Presidency School, Bangalore North. Avinash, feeling good about your chances?
Yes, sir. I'm pretty confident.
Okay. We have Maitri Muralidhar from National Public School, Rajaji Nagar. Maitri, what do you find the main difference between quizzing online and quizzing on ground?
I think with all the quizzes I've attended, the fervor of people still remains the same, but there's just like a thrill of raising your hands or like pressing the buzzer when you're offline and then having the mic and answering. But I think the online quizzes are also being organized really well, and like on the whole, there is not much of a difference.
Okay, great, Maitri. And through this quiz, we intend to bring the excitement of the live on-ground quizzes, and hopefully you all will enjoy our format. Next, we have Jaydev Kamath from Sri Chaitanya Techno School. And Jaydev, my question to you is, what did you find about the level of the preliminary round? Was it easy? Was it tough? Was it middling?
It's kind of tough to say, but I guess it was somewhat in the medium.
Great, and all the best, Jaydev. So
Thank you,
here
sir.
are our 6 finalists, And now we'll proceed to our first round of the Bengaluru Cluster Final, which is Laksha Bheda. So round one, Laksha Bheda. Let's take a look at the rules. So in this round, you have to hit the bullseye. So one question per participant. This round does not pass. Each question has 4 options. Each participant gets 3 attempts to answer each question, plus 15 if you get the answer in the first attempt, plus 10 if you get the answer in the second attempt, and plus 5 if you get the answer in the third attempt. So let's move to our first participant for today, that is Kushagra Agarwal. Kushagra, your question coming up on your screen now. He is one of the 7 Chiranjeevis. He, along with his sister, was adopted by King Shantanu. Who are we talking about? Is it A, Kripacharya, B, Markandeya, C, Vedavyasa, or D, Mahabali?
So I'm going option C, Vedavyasa.
You're going with option C, Vedavyasa. Let's click on C, Vedavyasa. Sorry, that's wrong. What's your next answer?
A, Kripacharya.
Let's click on A, Kripacharya. Absolutely correct. 10 points for you, Kushagra. It is Kripacharya. His sister was Kripi, who married Drona. So Kripacharya was indeed adopted by King Shantanu. Vedavyasa was the son of Satyavati, who was later married to Shantanu, and Rishi Parashar. So Vedavyasa was not adopted by King Shantanu. So it is indeed Kripacharya. So 10 points for you, Kushagra. Next, we'll move on to our youngest participant for today, Tanushri. Tanushri, your question coming up on your screen now. This book was written by an ambassador of Seleucus I. In it, he talks about the arrival of Heracles and Dionysus in prehistoric India. Name the book. Is it A, Odyssey? Is it B, Poetics? Is it C, Indica? Or is it D, Republic?
C, Indica.
Okay, let's click on C, Indica. Correct. Well done. Good start, Tanushri. Very good answer. 15 points for you. You knew it or you guessed?
So I guessed.
Okay, good guess. Very good guess. No negative points here at the Cycle Heritage Quiz, so we encourage you to take your guesses. Next, we have Vedant. Question number 3 coming up for Vedant. The legend goes that when Devi Ganga is heavily laden with the sins of a sinner, she herself goes to have a purifying bath in a river which is said to be the daughter of Shiva. Which river is this? Is this A, Godavari? Is it B, Yamuna? C, Kaveri? Or D, Narmada?
I think I'd like to try option C, Kaveri.
Option C, Kaveri. Let's click on C. Not Kaveri, Vedant. Your next try.
Option A, Godavari.
Option A, Godavari. Let's try option A, Godavari. Sorry, that's wrong as well. What's your next answer?
Option B, Yamuna.
Option B, Yamuna. Let's click on B. Sorry, this is Narmada. Not a good start for you, Vedant. That was a tricky one. So Devi Ganga washes her sins away at the Narmada. It's basically because there are other sinners who wash their sins away in the Ganga. So Devi Ganga sometimes gets heavily laden with the sins of a sinner. Then she goes to have a purifying bath in the Narmada. So Narmada is the answer I was looking for. So no points for you, Vedant. Next, we move to Avinash Ashok. Avinash, your question coming up on your screen now. The first railway line between Bengaluru and Jolapet was laid during his time as commissioner of the Mysore Kingdom. Roads were constructed connecting Bengaluru to all major taluks during his tenure. Identify this commissioner who had a tenure of 26 years. Is it A, Lewin Bowring? Is it B, Mark Cubbon? Is it C, Victor Hope? Or is it D, Lord Minto Gilbert Elliot?
I'm going option A.
Option A, Lewin Bowring. Let's click on A. Sorry, that's the wrong answer. What's your next attempt?
Option B.
Can you spell out the whole thing, please?
Option B, Mark Cubbon.
Option B, Mark Cubbon. Let's click on Mark Cubbon. Absolutely correct. It is indeed Mark Cubbon. So 10 points for you, Avinash. We'll move on to our next participant, who is Maitrey. Maitrey, your question coming up on your screen now. The M. Chinnaswamy Stadium hosted its first test match in 1974. It saw the debut of 3 cricketers, including 2 future World Cup winners and cricket legends. Which team did India play in that match? Is it A, England? Is it B, Australia? Is it C, Pakistan? Or is it D, West Indies?
I want to say D, West Indies.
You're going with D, West Indies. Let's click on D. 15 points. Well done. The first ever test match at M. Chinnaswamy Stadium was between India and West Indies. It saw the debut of cricket legends Vivian Richards and Gordon Greenidge, along with from India, Hemant Thanikar, because Vivian Richards and Gordon Greenidge were part of the West Indies side that, of course, ruled world cricket for around 15 years. So well done, Maitrey. You get 15 points. Next, we move to Jaydev. Jaydev, your question coming up on your screen now. Jaydev, your question. At the age of 18, he married 12-year-old Bhagirthi Bai of the royal house of Mavelikara. They were blessed with 2 sons and 3 daughters. One of his daughters, Mahaprabha Amma, features in some of his most famous works. Name him. Is it A, Purandara Dasa? Is it B, Amarashilpi Jakanachari? Is it C, Raja Ravi Verma? Or is it D, Swati Tirumal?
Is it A, Purandaradasa?
Okay, let's see whether A, Purandara Dasa is correct or not. Sorry, that's the wrong answer. Your next try.
Is it Amarashilpi Jakanachari, option B?
Okay, let's click on Amarashilpi Jakanachari. Sorry, that's wrong as well. Jaydev, your last attempt.
I'll go with Raja Ravi Verma.
Let's click on Raja Ravi Verma. And that's indeed the correct answer. You get 5 points at your last attempt. So well done, Jaydev. With that, we come to the end of our first round, Laksha Bheda. Now it's time to move on to our second round, which is called Jigyasa. Let's have a look at the rules of Jigyasa. 1 direct question per participant. These are text-based questions. Passes clockwise, which means from A to B to C to D to E to F. Plus 10 for every correct answer, whether it's on direct or on pass. The first question, like in the first round, will go to Kushagra. Kushagra, your question coming up on your screen now. The Chinese and the Thai believe that the dragon causes it. American Indians believe that dogs and wolves or coyotes are to blame. In Egyptian myth, the snake Apep is blamed. 2 monsters are believed to be the cause of this phenomena in Indian mythology. What are we talking about? Question to Kushagra.
So I'm guessing maybe this is the solar eclipse.
Eclipse is right. plus 10 for you, Kushagra. The Indian monsters are, of course, Rahu and Ketu. Well done, Kushagra. You get 10 points. It is indeed eclipse. Next question, we move to Tanushri. Tanushri, your direct question coming up now. In India, Mughal, Deccani, Pahadi, and Rajasthani royal courts were famous for this style of painting. It derives its name from the color of the pigment used and not the size of the works, as is commonly believed. Which style of painting is being talked about?
I don't know.
Okay, passing on to Vedant.
I'm guessing that it is Madhubani painting.
Not Madhubani painting. Moving on to Avinash.
Sir, pass, sir.
Okay, passing. Moving on to Maitri.
Is it Bandhani?
Not Bandhani. Moving on to Jaydev.
I pass.
Okay, passing again. Moving on to Kushagra.
I have no idea, so I'm guessing this is Kalamkari maybe.
Not Kalamkari. The big clue here was it's not named after the size of the work. So focus on size. This is the famous style of painting known as miniature painting. So no one gets points for this one. It is miniature painting. Next question is a direct one for Vedant. Vedant, your question coming up on your screen now. This kingdom is identified to be the regions around the Tungabhadra river. During the Treta Yuga, the whole region was within the dense forest called Dandaka, extending from Vindhyas to the South Indian peninsula. The Pandava Sahadeva was said to visit this kingdom during his southern military campaign to collect tribute for Yudhishthira's Rajasuya sacrifice. Which kingdom near Hampi are we talking about? This is the name of a kingdom that you would see in mythology.
I'm going on Tungabhadra River. I would say it's the kingdom of Hampi. Vijayanagar Empire.
Vijayanagar Empire. Okay, not Vijayanagar. Okay, let's move to Avinash.
I have no doubt, sir.
You're passing.
Passing.
Okay, Maitri.
I'm not sure, but I think it's Suddenly.
No, that's not the correct answer. Moving on to Jaydev.
Is it Kishkinda?
Is it Kishkinda? Are you sure or taking a guess?
I'm taking a guess.
Jaydev taking a guess with Kishkinda, and it is indeed correct. Very, very well done. This is Kishkinda, the kingdom of the Banaras, which is near Hampi. Very, very well done, Jaydev. You get 10 points. And our next question for this round is a direct one to Avinash. Avinash, your question coming up on your screen now. The three strands of this article symbolize three debts that must never be forgotten. One is the debt to one's teachers. Two is the debt to one's parents and ancestors. Three is the debt to the sages or scholars. What are we talking about?
I pass, sir.
Okay, passing. Moving on to Maitri.
Is it in the Vedas?
Can't give it for just Vedas though. Moving on to Jaydev.
I pass.
Passing, moving on to Kushagra.
So I'm guessing this is the hair also. The sages and the rishis and the munis, they have this different kind of hairstyle, right? So maybe the three strands of hair.
The 3 strands of hair. Okay, interesting answer, but not the correct one. Tanushri, moving on to you.
Probably it is in the Upanishad.
Not related to Upanishads, actually, can't give it for that. Moving on to Vedant.
Is it in the Brahmana?
Can you be more specific?
No.
Okay, Vedant, give it once again for Brahmanas. So the article that I was looking for is the sacred thread that the Brahmanas wear during the Upanayana ceremony. Of course, they are given the sacred thread. So the sacred thread and Upanayana were the keywords that I was looking for in the answer. So no one gets any points for this one. The next question is for Maitreyi. Maitreyi, your direct question on your screen now. This person, now acknowledged as India's first woman historian, began work on her book in the late 1500s in response to a request from her nephew for information about the lives of his father and grandfather. Annette Beveridge, who put together the first English translation of the book in 1902, chose to refer to her as Princess Rosebody. Who are we talking about? This is for Maitreyi, direct question.
Is it Razia Sultana?
Not Razia Sultana, interesting guess, but not Razia Sultana. Jaydev?
Sir, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay, moving on to Kushagra.
Maybe this is Noor Jahan.
Not Noor Jahan. Moving on to Tanushri.
Sir, is it Gulbada Begum?
Gulbadan Begum answers Tanushri, and that's absolutely correct. Beautiful answer there. Princess Rosebody gives rise to Gulbadan Begum. So 10 points for Tanushri. Very, very well done. And now we have the last question of this round for Jaydev. Materials required to make this instrument are the locally available bamboo shoots, wood, coconut shell, and metal pipes. The instrument, played often by priest singers known as hopas, is regularly used in telling the tale of the folk hero Babuji. Which instrument is this?
Sir, is this the Shehnai?
Not Shehnai. Moving on to Kushagra.
Maybe this is the Basuri.
Not the Basuri. Moving on to Tanushri.
I don't know.
Okay, passing on to Vedant.
Is it the Khanjira?
Not the Khanjira. Moving on to Avinash.
The sitar.
Not Sitar. Moving on to Maitreyi.
Is it the Jantar? Jantar.
Not the Jantar. So this is an instrument named after a mythological character. This is the Ravana Hatta. And it was said that it was Lord Hanuman who brought the Ravana Hatta to India from Lanka. So no answers on this one as well. Turned out to be a tricky round. And this ends round number 2, which was Jigyasa. Now we'll take a quick look at the scores with Kunal.
After 2 grueling rounds in the Bengaluru Cluster Final of the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021, we have the scores. And right now, our youngest participant, Tanushri, is leading with 25 points. Then we have Kushagra on 20. And then we have Maitreyi and Jaydev both on 15 each. Avinash on 10. Vedant yet to open his account, but a lot more rounds and a lot more points at stake. From here onwards, let's see what happens in the Bengaluru cluster. Over to Titash.
All right, so it's turning out to be a very, very close quiz, and we expect nothing less from Bengaluru. A reminder for everyone, the top 2 from this round will move on to the national quarterfinals. Round number 3 is coming up now, and it's called Trishanku. Let's take a look at the rules. So in this round, one question per participant. This round does not pass. So there are 3 clues leading to something or someone, plus 15 for getting the right answer in the first attempt, plus 10 for getting it in the second attempt, and plus 5 for getting it in the third attempt. You can attempt after each clue. There is no negative mark. So in this round, we'll reverse the order. So this time, we'll start off with Jaydev. Jaydev, your first clue coming up on screen now. She is the reincarnation of goddess Nagalakshmi.
Sir, is it Kali?
Not Kali. Let's move on to the next clue. Her older sister, who married into the same family, was adopted.
Is it Lakshmi, sir?
Not Lakshmi. Let's move on to your last clue. She accepted 14 years of continuous sleep from Nidra Devi in exchange of the blessing that her husband never feels sleepy. Yeah, almost 10 seconds are done after I have given you the last clue. Need an answer?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, passing on. Anybody knows? This does not pass, of course, but anybody else knows the answer?
Is it the wife of Lakshman? I can't remember her name.
Yes, it is the wife of Lakshman. Yes, it is Urmila. Of course, I needed Urmila in the answer. Just wife of Lakshman wouldn't have done. But yes, Urmila, of course, had the blessing or kind of the curse that she would be sleeping continuously for 14 years because Lakshman wanted to always be awake to protect his brother and, of course, Devi Sita. So Urmila is what I was looking for. So no points for Jaydev. We'll move on to our next participant for this round. Maitri, your first clue coming up now. For stability while playing, it is placed on a toroidal bundle called chutta or buddhi and is played sitting down. Looking for a musical instrument here?
Is it the sarang?
Not the sarang. Let's move on to the next one. Next clue. It is one of the main Qawwali instruments used by Sufi musicians, and it's also featured in dance performances such as Kathak.
Next clue.
Okay, let's move on to your last clue. It consists of a baya and a daya. This should give it away.
Is it tabla?
Yes, of course, as simple as that. It is the tabla. So 5 points for you, Maitreyi. And we'll now move on to the next participant, Avinash. Avinash, your first clue coming up on your screen now. This Persian craft was originally used on the back of traditional Polki jewelry.
The next clue.
Okay, let's move on to your next clue, Avinash. The colors used to create this enamel art are metal oxides mixed with powdered glass.
So no, next clue, sir.
All right, moving on to your last clue. The first half of the name is the feminine form of Minu in Persian, meaning the azure color of heaven.
I have no idea, sir.
Okay, no idea. Anybody else wants to take a guess on this?
Is it the art form that you see in Channapatna, the Channapatna toys?
Not the Channapatna toys. From Minu, you get Meenakari. This is the Meenakari form of jewelry. This is Meenakari. And now we'll move on to Vedant. Vedant, Your clue coming up on your screen now. This place was attacked thrice by the invaders, the Huns, the Gaudas, and the Bakhtiyar Khilji.
Is it Nalanda?
Very confident answer from Vedant. It is Nalanda, 15 points, and Vedant is back into the race. Very, very valuable 15-pointer there for you, Vedant. Fantastic answering. And our next participant for this round is Tanushri. Let's see if Tanushri can also ace it at the first clue. We'll move on to Tanushri's first clue on the screen now. This dancer created a fusion style of dance, adapting European theatrical techniques to Indian classical dance.
So next clue.
Next clue, okay, moving on to the next clue. In 1962, he was awarded the Sangeet Natak Academy Fellowship.
Sir Uday Shankar.
Guessing Uday Shankar. Tanushri is very good at making guesses. Is this correct? It is indeed correct. Well done. 10 points to you for Uday Shankar. Very, very good quizzing there from Tanushri. It is indeed Uday Shankar, the elder brother of the famous sitar player Ravi Shankar. So very, very well done, Tanushri. And we'll now move on to our last participant for this round, and that is Kushagra. Kushagra, your question coming up on your screen now. Your first clue is up. Initially, this sporting tournament started in 1895, was organized by the Indian Football Association. One hint I'll give you is that this is not a football tournament.
Is this the Durand Cup maybe?
No, Durand Cup is a football tournament. It's not the Durand Cup. Let's move on to your next clue. Winners of this tournament have included sides such as Jhansi Heroes, Bhopal Wanderers, Army 11, and BSF Jalandhar. The first winner was Calcutta Naval Volunteers AC.
The Ranji Cup maybe?
Not the Ranji Trophy. Let's move on to your last clue. Dhyan Chand called it the best organized hockey event in the country.
I have no ideas.
All right, this is a very, very famous hockey event, the oldest hockey event in India, which is the Baton Cup. This is the Baton Cup. And of course, Dhyan Chand still talked about in his autobiography Goal about his achievements in the Baton Cup. And few of his achievements in the Baton Cup, he even rates higher than his Olympic gold medals, so, or Olympic performances. So absolutely, this is the Baton Cup, but no points for Kushagra. With that, we come to the end of our penultimate round, which was Trishanku. We'll move on to our last round, but before that, a quick look at the scores with Kunal.
Well, after 3 rounds of quizzing at the Bengaluru Cluster Final of Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021, here are the scores. Tanushri is still leading with 35 points. Next, we have Kushagra and Moitri both on 20 points. Vedant and Jaydev both on 15 points each. And we have Avinash on 10. One last round to go. 2 of the participants will move on to the national quarterfinal of the Cycle Heritage Quiz. Let's find out who they would be. Over to Titash.
All right, so it's very close, especially for second spot. Tanushri has a big lead at the moment, but still lots of points to be won in the last round, which is called Divya Drishti. Let's take a look at the rules. One direct question per participant here as well, all based on visuals. This round passes anti-clockwise, and it's +10 for every correct answer, whether it be on a pass or on a direct question. So we'll once again start off this round with Jaydev. Jaydev, your visual coming up on screen now. So Jaydev, your question is, the building of this fort was started during the reign of which vassal of the Vijayanagar Empire? So vassal is a kind of a feudal lord. Okay. The building of this fort was started during the reign of which vassal of the Vijayanagar Empire? Question for Jaydev.
Sir, I don't know.
All right, passing to Maitri.
Can you repeat who a vassal is?
Vassal is a feudal lord.
Is it Lord Curzon?
Not Lord Curzon. Moving on to Avinash.
Sir, pass.
Okay, passing on to Vedant.
So, sir, the feudal lord wasn't the king, right?
No.
Is it Tenali Rama?
Oh, nice one. It's a good try. No, it's not Tenali Rama. Tanushri,
So I don't know.
you don't have a guess? Okay, Kushagra.
I'm just going to take a wild guess and say Vijayaraya.
No, not Vijayaraya. So nice guesses from all of you. This is actually the Bangalore Fort, which is located in central Bangalore. This is near Tipu Sultan Summer Palace. It's quite nearby. This is, of course, the construction was started during the reign of Kempegowda I, after whom the Bangalore airport is named. So no points for anyone. No one gets Kempegowda. Next question goes to Maitri. Maitri, your direct question coming up on your screen now. So Maitri, your question is, this form of Lord Shiva fought Lord Narasimha and which other fearsome form of Lord Vishnu? So the fearsome form that I'm talking about, I'll just clarify, is not one of the Dashavatara. Okay. This form of Lord Shiva fought Lord Narasimha and which other fearsome form of Lord Vishnu? Just a clarification, it's not one of the Dashavatara.
Is it Hayagriva?
Not Hayagriva. That's a nice guess, actually. Let's move on to Avinash.
No, sir.
No answers?
I pass.
Okay. Vedant,
No guesses.
any guesses, Vedant?
No, sir. No guesses.
All right, moving on to Tanushri. Tanushri, any answer?
No, sir, I don't know.
Okay, passing on to Kushagra.
I'm guessing Mohini maybe.
That's a good guess, actually. Mohini is a good guess, but fearsome form, I don't think so. But let's move on to Jaydev.
Is it Dattatreya, sir?
Not Dattatreya. Dattatreya is kind of a form of Vishnu. It's actually a combination of Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar. But fearsome form of Lord Vishnu, when this form of Lord Shiva, which is Sharabha, was fighting Lord Narasimha, another fearsome form of Lord Vishnu came out from within Narasimha, and that was the symbol that you see everywhere around Bangalore and everywhere around Karnataka. This is the double-headed eagle, or the Ganda Berunda. This is the Ganda Berunda. So no one gets points for probably the state symbol. So moving on to Avinash. Avinash, your visual coming up on your screen now. Okay, Avinash, your question is, this sculpture is located in London and faces the UK Parliament. This is the bust of which social reformer born in the 12th century in Karnataka?
I'll just guess with Krishna Devaraya.
Krishna Devaraya is your answer. Okay, so that's a wrong answer. Moving on to Vedant.
Is it Ramanujam, the same?
Not Ramanujam. Let's move on to Tanushri.
Sir, is it Basavanna?
It is Basavanna. Brilliant answer, Tanushri. Tanushri gets Another fantastic answer, 10 points. You knew this or guessed again?
Guessed it again, sir.
Okay, very good. Social reformer, 12th century. Tanushri is on a roll, 10 points to you. And the next question goes to Vedant. This could be a crucial question. Vedant, your visual coming up on your screen now. Your question is, Vedant, this house in Fatehpur Sikri belonged to which minister?
Is it Tansen?
Not Tansen, good guess. Moving on to Tanushri.
So no idea.
Okay, moving on to Kushagra.
Guessing maybe this is Abu Fazal.
Not Abu Fazal. Moving on to Jaydev.
Is it Birbal's house, sir?
It is Birbal's house. Well done, Jaydev. Fantastic answer. And that might be a very crucial answer for you, Jaydev. 10 points to you. The next question comes for Tanushri. Tanushri, your visual coming up on your screen now. Okay, this is the logo of a particular edition of the Olympics. Your question is, apart from the hockey team, who was India's only individual medalist in this Olympics? So the hockey team, of course, won gold, but an individual also won a medal in this Olympics. So what was his name?
So I don't know, sir.
Okay, Tanushri passing, moves on to Kushagra.
I'm guessing Milkha Singh.
Not Milkha Singh, moving on to Jaydev.
Sir, is it P.T. Usha?
Not P.T. Usha, moving on to Maitri.
Sir, is it K.D. Jadhav?
It is K.D. Jadhav. Well done, India's first individual Olympic medalist. This was a crucial answer for you, Maitri. It is indeed K.D. Jadhav who won the medal at the Helsinki Olympics, a bronze medal, in fact, in wrestling. So well done, Maitri. Now we move on to the last question of this quiz. You will probably see that second spot is still up for grabs. And this question might decide it all. So Kushagra, your visual coming up on your screen now. Your question is, this is the military band of which regiment based in South India?
Maybe the Bangalore Regiment.
Can't give it for Bangalore Regiment. Moving on to Jaydev.
Is it the Mysore regiment, sir?
Not Mysore Regiment. Moving on to Maitri.
Sir, is it the parachute regiment?
Not the Parachute Regiment. Moving on to Avinash.
No, sir, pass.
Passing. Okay. Moving on to Vedant.
I can't remember the name exactly, but is it something like Madras Sepoys who are based in Bangalore?
Madras Sepoys. Madras Sepoys. Can't give to you for that. Tanushri.
No, sir, I don't know.
So Vedant was very, very close. It's called the Madras Sappers. It's not the Madras Sepoys. It's the Madras Sappers. So no points for Vedant. With that, we come to the end of a very exciting Bengaluru Cluster Final at the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. Let's take a final look at the scores with Kunal.
After the end of the Bengaluru Cluster Final and some very, very interesting answers, let's find out what's the scoreboard looks like. We have Avinash on 10. He finishes at the 6th position. Then we have Vedant with 15 points. Then we have Kushagra with 20 points. Jaydev with 25 points. And going into the national quarterfinals, we have in the 2nd position today in the Bengaluru finale, Maitri with 30 points. And then the youngest participant from today's quiz is going as the winner of the Bengaluru finale, and that is Tanushri with 45 points.
So congratulations to our youngest participant today, Tanushri, who qualifies in 1st position for the national quarterfinals. Fantastic performance, Tanushri. And next, congratulations to Maitrey, who will never forget KD Jadhav again, and because that answer just edged out Jaydev to make her qualify in second position for our national quarterfinals. Commiserations to Jaydev, who gave a really good fight. Also, great answers from Kushagra, Vedant, and Avinash. Well played to all of you. In fact, making it to this round is an achievement by itself because almost 30,000 participants registered for this quiz. So very, very well done. Till we meet again at the next cluster final of the Cycle Heritage Quiz 2021. Stay safe, stay happy, stay curious. Goodbye from all of us at CHQ 2021 team.